Are the TSA body scanners a good plan? Before anything else, let's get started on some background information on these body scanners. Body scanners are used to scan for illicit drugs and metal objects. These scanners are replacing metal detectors because they can detect materials other than metal. The usage of these body scanners in airports has become more prevalent after various terrorist attacks, including 9/11. There are two main types of scanners, the millimeter wave scanner and the backscatter body scanner. While these scanners may look very similar, they are different in many ways. The millimeter wave scanner projects a unisex cartoon image of the passenger with a yellow box over the area of suspicion. The millimeter wave scanner emits waves which are similar to the ones used in cell phones. These waves are not known to cause cancer. On the other hand, backscatter body scanners do cause radiation which can lead to cancer. In addition, the backscatter body scanner projects nude images of the passengers onto a screen. TSA claims that these images are reviewed by an agent in a room by themselves. These scanners are detailed enough to determine someone's gender and also to see surgery scars. This has caused an uproar among many passengers due to the breach of privacy. TSA claims that the images are deleted immediately after they are reviewed. However, this isn't the case. A government agency then admitted that they had stored over 35,000 body scanning images. Some of these images were then leaked onto the internet for all to see. TSA then admitted that all body scanners were able to save images, however they were solely used for evaluation and training purposes. If something suspicious is detected during a scan, then the passenger is then subjected to a pat-down. These pat-downs are extremely invasive and considered to be a breach of privacy by many passengers. TSA body scanners also pose a health risk. As previously stated, backscatter body scanners do emit a small amount of radiation per scan. Dr. David Brenner, head of Columbia University's Center for Radiological Research, said that although the danger posed to the individual passenger is very low, children and passengers with gene mutations are more at risk than others. This is because they are less able to repair X-ray damage to their DNA. The scanners also have a somewhat high false alarm rate. TSA has installed automated scanning software into their scanners due to the public outcry because of the breach of privacy. Automated scanning is when a computer scans these images instead of a TSA agent. The public is very happy with this result because they no longer feel as if their privacy is being breached. The problem with this automated scanning is that it has a very high false alarm rate and is very unreliable. For example, in Germany, nearly 7 out of every 10 people were pulled aside for further screening. Nearly 54% of all people who went through the initial scanning triggered false alarms. Also, France chose not to utilize the automated scanning due to high false alarm rates, which they did not disclose. They did say, however, that the failure rate was higher with the automated scanning than it was with actual agents. Jason Ritchie, a frequent flyer, was flying out of Memphis when he was pulled aside for a pat-down after going through a body scanner. When he asked what the suspicious item was, they reported that it was just a false alarm and his cargo pants had triggered the alarm. He said that it kind of annoys me when I have to go through the X-ray system because I don't like to be irradiated unnecessarily. To have to go through that and then be told I have to get a pat-down was frustrating. One of the reasons for this high false alarm rate is because the millimeter waves penetrate clothing and reflect off objects. Due to the high frequency of the scanner's waves, these waves can also reflect off of water. This can cause the scanner to mistake sweat for a potentially dangerous object. Doug Soll, spokesman for TSA, said, "As with many types of technology, there will be an anticipated amount of false alarms that are considered acceptable, and we will continue to work with industry vendors to improve both the detection and operational capabilities for all of our technology." We interview Matt Francine in order to learn a little bit more about what the business class thinks about these body scanners. About how often do you fly?
It varies, but I'd say I travel about once a month, so approximately 12 times a year.
Have you ever been in a body scanner?
Yes, quite a few times.
What is your opinion on body scanners?
When I'm flying, I really want to get through security as quickly as possible. Ultimately, I really want to be safe while I'm flying, but my sense of the body scanners is it seems to take longer than just going through a normal metal detector. So I'm not a fan of the body scanners. The invasion is it's one issue, but I like to get through quickly as possible. They seem to take longer.
Do you find body scanners to be effective?
They seem to be effective from what I know, but I know when they came out, and it still is a big issue, the invasion of privacy. It's really people don't like it at all. Again, I could go either way. Security is a big issue for me, but the speed is right up there with it. So, from what I've read and what I understand, they are effective, but I think that effectiveness does come at a price of people's privacy.
Would you prefer a pat down or a full body scan?
Definitely a full body scan. I think they're more effective and overall much faster. You've got a machine doing the work consistently each time, as opposed to a person who could make changes in their procedure. So definitely a full body scan.
Do you think body scanners are necessary given the current state of our country?
Yes, I do think body scanners are necessary in our given state of our country based on the recent attacks on us, and I think we continue need to be diligent and protect ourselves. I think, though, we should be able to come up with something ideally that's a better technology that makes the full body scanners less invasive and more effective, and then ideally, back to my bottom line, faster. So if they can be better security and faster, I'm all for it.
Which do you think is better, the millimeter wave scanner or the backscatter scanner?
I definitely think the millimeter wave scanner is much better. I've actually only ever used the wave scanner. I've never been in an airport that has the backscatter scanner, and I would not enjoy being exposed to radiation going through one of those. So I'm definitely a fan of the wave scanner, and the more they get the technology better, the more I think that would be good for everyone.
So basically what we can take away from Mr. Fritzien's interview is that he doesn't want to be radiated unnecessarily. And he wants to stay safe, and he also wants to get through security quickly while staying safe. So once the millimeter wave scanners fix their automated scanning systems, will be much faster. They'll be because they won't be stopping people to get extra pat downs due to the false alarms, and also it'll definitely be safer because the millimeter wave scanners don't cause cancer, unlike the backscatter scanners. I'd just like to touch on the idea that the US would never have this level of security if it weren't for terrorist attacks such as 9/11 or the Christmas Day suicide bomber who put explosives into his underwear. Um, if it weren't for the level of security that we had then, they would have gotten through, or at least the Christmas Day suicide bomber would have gotten through and would have killed many people. So um, I don't think it's a bad idea to heighten the level of our security like we did. However, I don't think that the heightened level of security should come at the cost of people's privacy and violating their human rights, like by taking images of them nude, or revealing personal information by taking nude images of them. I don't think that should be the measure that we have to go to in order to keep our country safe. I think that it's good that America is doing away with the old backscatter body scanner and bringing in the new millimeter wave scanner because, as I stated earlier, it does not cause cancer, which the backscatter scanner does, and it also will be much faster than the backscatter body scanner once its programs are fully functional and does not have an excessive amount of false alarms anymore. Because machines operate much faster than humans will, and it'll just get the same job done over and over again without human error. Thanks for watching, and I hope you understand now why the backscatter body scanner is a much worse option than the millimeter wave scanner.